Have you ever looked at something and questioned its color? Maybe you saw a photo online where people argued about the color of a dress. The truth is, the colors you perceive might not be an accurate reflection of reality. Our brains play a fascinating trick, transforming light waves into the vibrant spectrum of colors we experience. Our eyes are like windows to the world, but our brains are the artists that paint the scene. When light enters our eyes, it hits the retina, which contains photoreceptor cells called rods and cones. These cells convert light into electrical signals that travel through the optic nerve to the brain. The brain then interprets these signals, allowing us to perceive different colors based on the light's wavelength. Understanding how this happens unveils the illusion of color and reveals the incredible power of the human brain. What exactly is color? Color is not an inherent property of objects. It's a perception created by our brains. When light enters our eyes, it triggers a series of complex processes in our brain. Light from sources like the sun or a lamp appears white, but it's actually a combination of various wavelengths. Each wavelength within this light corresponds to a different color in the visible spectrum. When light strikes an object, certain wavelengths are absorbed by the object's surface, while others are reflected. The reflected wavelengths enter our eyes, where specialized cells known as cones detect them. These cones convert the light into electrical signals, which travel through neural pathways to the brain. The brain then interprets these signals as the colors we see. Think of it this way: objects don't possess color, they possess the ability to absorb and reflect light. Imagine a vibrant red apple. It appears red because it absorbs most wavelengths of light except for those in the red portion of the spectrum. These red wavelengths are reflected, and when they hit our eyes, we perceive the apple as red. But what about other colors? Let's explore further. A green leaf reflects primarily green wavelengths, absorbing the other colors. Similarly, a blue shirt reflects blue wavelengths and absorbs the rest. Every object we see interacts with light in this way, selectively absorbing and reflecting specific wavelengths to create the appearance of color. This interaction is fundamental to how we perceive the world around us. Illuminating color perception. The way we perceive color can be influenced by various factors, including the lighting conditions. Light plays a crucial role in how we see colors. Let's revisit our red apple. Notice how it looks under different lighting. Under bright sunlight, it appears vividly red because there's ample red light to reflect. The sunlight contains all colors of light, and the apple reflects the red wavelengths most strongly. However, if we move the apple into a dimly lit room, its redness seems to fade. This is because the light source now has fewer red wavelengths for the apple to reflect. This happens because there's less red light available for the apple to reflect. The color we see is directly related to the light that illuminates the object. Our brains, however, are remarkably adaptable. They work to maintain color constancy, which is the ability to perceive colors consistently despite changes in lighting. They try to compensate for changes in lighting to maintain color constancy. This means our perception of an object's color remains relatively stable even when the lighting conditions change. The brain's palette, constructing our colorful world. Our brain's role in color perception goes beyond simply processing wavelengths. It involves complex neural mechanisms that interpret and construct the colors we see. The brain actively constructs our perception of color based on context, experience, and even our expectations. This means that what we see is not just a direct reflection of the external world. This is evident in optical illusions, where our brains can be tricked into seeing colors that aren't actually present. These illusions reveal how our brain interprets visual information. For instance, in the famous checker shadow illusion, two squares that are objectively the same shade of gray appear to be different colors because of the surrounding context. This demonstrates how context influences our perception. This highlights the subjective nature of color perception, emphasizing that color is ultimately a mental construct. Our brains play a crucial role in shaping the vibrant world we experience. Beyond the rainbow, the unseen spectrum. The colors we see, the vibrant hues that paint our world, represent only a tiny fraction of the electromagnetic spectrum. This spectrum includes a range of wavelengths, from the very short gamma rays to the very long radio waves. Beyond the limits of human vision lies a vast expanse of colors we cannot perceive, such as ultraviolet UV and infrared IR light. UV light has shorter wavelengths than visible light, while IR light has longer wavelengths. Many animals can see these colors, revealing a world beyond our limited perception. For instance, birds and insects have evolved to detect UV light, which helps them in various ways. Bees, for example, can see UV patterns on flowers that are invisible to us, guiding them toward nectar. These patterns act like landing strips, directing the bees to the flower's reproductive organs. Snakes use IR vision to detect the heat signatures of their prey, even in complete darkness. This ability allows them to hunt effectively at night, sensing the warmth of their prey's body. These examples underscore the vastness of the unseen world and the limitations of our own sensory experience. The electromagnetic spectrum is filled with information that we are simply not equipped to detect. Ultimately, the question of whether colors truly exist outside our perception remains a philosophical one. It challenges us to consider the nature of reality and our place within it. What we perceive as color is a product of our brain's interpretation of light waves. Our eyes detect these waves and send signals to our brain, which then constructs the colorful world we see. It's a beautiful illusion, a testament to the power of our brains to create a meaningful and vibrant experience of the world around us. The unseen spectrum reminds us of the incredible complexity and wonder of the universe. Mind blown? If you enjoyed this deep dive into color perception, hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating facts. And let us know in the comments, what's something crazy you learned that blew your mind? We might make a video on it. See you next time.